Your intuition is you telling you what to do. Hello and thank you for joining. Today I want to talk about intuition and give you 5 valuable ways to sharpen your intuition, to develop it. We haven't been taught about intuition and how to develop our intuition, and I don't know why. It's not taught to people, it's not even talked about for mysterious reasons. So one thing to know about intuition is that it is basically you talking to you and trying to direct you. Picture it as if this was a video game and you're a character in this video game, in the game of life. Your intuition is actually the player outside of this game, controlling you and moving you directions. In order to do that, you need to allow it to take back the control of you, your life, because it's you in the end. I know it's weird, but because when we enter the game of life, we are all given, every one of us, a very, very, very powerful machine that is the mind, the ego, thinking mind. Because of all our trauma, society's programming and conditioning, this machine is not only very powerful, but for the most part of your life, it's been controlling you without you even knowing that. So you have to first heal yourself, take back the control of your mind, and yield, surrender to your higher self, your soul, universe, God, however you want to call it, and allow it to guide you every day. When you do that, you become limitless. This is really what we call living a fearless life. I am really heading toward that direction, to live a life where I am completely aligned and only guided by my soul and nothing else. So a little point, it is better to listen to your intuition when, whether healed or at a very good stage of your healing journey. Because before that, unfortunately, because of our trauma, we often tend to mistake that for fear, and this is really not the same thing. Fear is not telling you go there. On the opposite, is telling you don't go there, don't go anywhere, don't do anything, because it's afraid. It wants to keep you safe, but safe in a sense of the ego, which means away from the unknown. So sorry for this little long introduction, but I really wanted you to have the context. I'll explain a bit more at the end of the video. So let's dive right in with the 5 very valuable ways to sharpen your intuition. First one is to improvise a day, is to pick a day during which you literally improvise on everything that you do. I like to pick a day and go to random places and completely improvise. I try to look as little as possible at my phone and completely let this voice guide me. I allow myself to really listen to that voice and give it permission to tell me what to do. You might hear a voice telling you, go to this place, go to this restaurant. Try to listen to it. You can take the subway and get down in random stations. When you feel called to get down, just get down and keep improvising like this. This does wonders. So obviously it's not about putting yourself in danger. Try to stay in an area where you know you're safe. Still have some sense of control over the situation. You know you have your cell phone on you. You know you're in an area that's not dangerous. You're not entering a place that's obviously super, super shady. It's really about allowing your intuition to guide you without triggering your mind too much by putting yourself in danger, because the mind thinks the unknown equals danger, the end of the world. And so when you do little practice like this, the mind is going to notice that you didn't die and you discovered cool stuff. And so it's going to start expanding and trusting and relaxing and be less agitated, like, let's get out, I'm scared. It's going to start trusting that, okay, this voice that makes no sense, that's not logical to me, that's not mathematically adding up to me, but anyway, this voice turned out to be right. That's weird, but okay, I have no explanation for this. And so the mind is going to start leaning in too. This is how you take back the control of your mind slowly, by putting yourself in situations that are uncomfortable and completely unknown. Exposing yourself to that is going to educate your mind. And so once in a while, I like to take the day where I enter random restaurants. I have no idea where I'm gonna eat, what I'm gonna eat, what I'm gonna do. I completely improvise that day. I have met incredible people by doing that. I have been in situations that I still cannot explain. I have met certain people that really helped me fix something that was going on in my life. It was like miracle type of situations. I discovered amazing places that became my secret spots, and you start realizing, wow, there really is something in inside of me that knows what they are doing, that is guiding me to places. That's really magical, and that's a very, very, very powerful way to sharpen your intuition, but more importantly, your ability to trust yourself. The second thing that you can do is to start paying attention to the signs in nature, in your environment. Nature more importantly, but honestly, it can be signs everywhere. I know that a few years ago, I was really called to travel to Asia, and I received such clear messages everywhere I was going. For some reason, I would see in the subway, go to Japan. Withdrawing money on the ATM, this was written, go to Japan. For some reason, there was like an ad on the ATM screen. I was constantly told that, and I ended up listening to those signs amongst so many other signs that I received, and it turned out to be the trip of my life where I had my spiritual awakening, where I started to understand everything about my life and spirituality. So that's incredible. So it can be signs on the street, anything. Start paying attention to your environment, but especially nature. Nature speaks all the time. As I was saying at the beginning of this video, your intuition is you talking to you. So the fastest way to talk to you is through your mind, through your thoughts. You're gonna hear this voice, but because we've never been really educated, trained on listening to our intuition, unfortunately, most of the time, it is very hard for us to hear that voice, or we don't even know it exists. And so it's gonna find other ways to get to you, other ways to communicate with you. And this is where you get mysterious signs in your environment that really seem so directed at you. In nature, I tend to see flying insects, especially dragonflies, all the time. And I ended up understanding that there were arrows, guides, appearing at specific moments of my life every time. And every time they were appearing to me, it was a confirmation that whatever I was about to do was the right thing to do, because it turned out to be that. And so you're going to start building an understanding of certain patterns that keeps repeating in nature around you. So try to pay attention to the kind of animals that you keep seeing: insects, bees, wasps, or birds, cats, any kind of animal that you keep seeing repeatedly, and pay attention to what you're thinking about when you see these animals. Pay attention to your thoughts. You will start realizing a lot. In a nutshell, start taking nature seriously, because I know that that kind of thought can seem a bit stereotypical or a bit silly. The powers of nature have been made fun of in so many movies. We've been programmed to think these things are ridiculous. So it's really about giving back to nature the credit it deserves. Sometimes you're alone thinking about something very, very specific, and out of nowhere there's a bird barging in your balcony, staring at you for 3 seconds and then leaving. It means something. So start looking at your environment differently. Understand that you are trying to communicate to you all the time, and signs are everywhere. Number 3 is to practice asking for a clear confirmation, is to practice asking yourself, asking God, asking the universe for a clear confirmation. I remember one day I was at the end of the tether. I really was struggling with a choice I had to make for my health and a certain decision regarding medical procedures, and I was tortured inside about what to do. And I remember I was facing the doctor and I had to take my decision, and I was really glitching, like I had no idea what to do. And I really remember completely surrendering and think, please, if this is what I'm supposed to do, send me a confirmation. So I didn't say tell me what to do. I said, if this is what I'm supposed to do, please confirm it to me. So you have to also be smart about the way you phrase questions to the universe, to your higher self, to God, to however you want to call it, because it's the same thing. If you want answers, you have to leave the door open. You have to allow it to answer you. So when you just say, tell me what to do, it doesn't really mean anything. You're going to receive messages, but you won't be able to interpret them. So try to be smart by phrasing it that way, pointing out a direction and say, if this is where I'm supposed to go, send me a confirmation. When I said that, right away, a bird, there was a little window next to me. It was a small window with bars, and the bird barged in like this. It really stared at me like, for a little while, and then it flew away. I took that for a confirmation, and it turned out to be exactly what I was supposed to do. So you start building trust, in your intuition, and this is very powerful because not only you start building trust, but your mind also starts expanding. Your mind that is usually always on the logic, on the mathematical, Cartesian aspects of things, your mind that is always telling you that's not possible, sorry, then it's gonna be like, I cannot explain that. How the hell is that possible? That bird was right. Oh my god, this worked. And it's gonna start trusting as well. And this is how you take back the control of your mind. So the fourth way to sharpen your intuition is whenever you're facing a situation where you have to choose between option A and option B, allow your intuition, allow yourself to trust that voice that is guiding you somewhere. Take your time, allow your intuition to make the decision. Do this with small decisions like what to eat tonight. You're with friends and you are deciding which movie to see. Nothing big, not huge decisions. Do it with small decisions like this every day. What to wear, giving credit, giving trust to your intuition, because nothing really is at stake here. And this is allowing you to step into the unknown and see what could happen. Sometimes nothing extraordinary is gonna happen. And that's why it's great to do that, because there's nothing at stake. It's gonna be easier for you to allow yourself to step into the unknown and allow yourself to listen to that voice really without any fear, because worst case scenario, nothing happens. And to really practice doing that every time you find yourself in a decision making, pause and allow your intuition to guide you and follow your intuition. I've been in very funny situation doing this. I discovered that, for example, I was trying to order some food. I was hesitating between two restaurants, two different types of food. I really focused and let my intuition guide me. I picked the option B, and I kid you not, option A turned out to have food poisoning problem that I discovered later on the news. Extraordinary. Exactly the type of tiny whispering confirmation that we need to lean in even more into trusting. That's very powerful because it's small things, but wow, that was very powerful. I was really like, you start trusting yourself, And my fifth and final, one of my favorite ways to sharpen your intuition and your ability to trust yourself, to let yourself being guided, is to create, to make, especially art. Create can be anything crafted. Art is something that I do already. By the way, if you want to check my art, feel free to follow me on Instagram. I will drop the link down below. But I'm not talking about being an artist. I'm really talking about creating, making something without trying to be the best, without showing off. It's not about the skills, it's not about the talent, it's really about allowing that voice to create something, improvising the colors, the forms, letting your intuition decide of everything. That's really an amazing way to discover yourself. You can take classes, but like fun classes, not something too serious. It's not about suffering here again. It's really to have fun, to unwind, to allow this voice to speak to you, to speak through you, and see what happened, see the results. I went to this little painting class. We had the reference. The reference was a bird on a branch in like fall winter season, and so we could do anything we wanted from there. Just had to be the bird on the branch, and I completely improvised. It's a really interesting thing for the ego because you are completely in the unknown. The whole process can be scary because you don't know what the hell you're doing, and that's great. I really forced myself to go through all the process. While I was painting, I remember I was completely letting myself pick colors randomly, stick to the reference. So I really allowed my intuition to guide me, picking the different colors. I picked such bright pop colors in the end. At some point it looked a bit scary. It didn't look like anything, but the fact that you have to go through all the process is so rewarding at the end. When you go from, I don't know what the hell this is, I don't know what the hell this is, it doesn't look like anything, oh, it's looking like something, oh, there is something going on here. At the end, you're like, I loved it. This is great. I actually hang it on my wall and I love it. Creating is excellent, and it's really about one, allowing your intuition to guide you, and two, go through all the process. Don't stop even when you start feeling afraid because you're not sure of yourself. You start doubting yourself and you have to go through all the process and finish your piece. Always finish something you started. Always. This is excellent to discover beautiful results. Again, it's not about being an artist, being super talented. It's really about discovering what you did, what you created, and how cool it is. And that's really, really an excellent way to sharpen your intuition. The mind doesn't like these little experiments. It doesn't like the unknown. It loves to make sense of everything. It loves to stay in the familiar, in the comfortable. And that's why it's gonna make you feel uncomfortable when you're in a situation where you don't have the control. It's gonna make you feel feelings like fear and feeling suspicious. And that's when you start mistaking intuition with fear. That's why doing little practice that are not harmful to you, where there is nothing at stake, is excellent, because your mind is not too aggressive, not too defensive, and at the same time, it's going to realize nothing bad happened to me, and it's going to start allowing you more and more flexibility. And slowly you're going to start giving more space to that voice. And I wish that for you. When I think back of what it brought me to listen to my intuition, only good things, only miracles. Every time I really leaned in this voice and I followed it, miracles happened to me. I had a spiritual awakening. I made my dream to travel in Asia come true. I met someone who treated me with love and respect for the first time of my life. I found myself. I found a job that I loved back in the days, and so many more. Only miracles happened to me. So obviously I know, but it still feels amazing. So I truly hope this helped you, and I hope you will try these little practices and let me know how it went. I would love to know that. I hope this video helped you, and if you want to keep learning about self-awareness and learn how to take back the control of yourself, your mind, and your life, join the self-awareness journey by subscribing and liking this video. Thank you so much for watching this far, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.